following show contains adult content. It's not our intent to offend anyone, but we want to inform you that if you are a child under the age of 18 or get offended easily, this next show may not be for you. The content, opinions, and subject matter of these shows are solely the choice of your show hosts and their guests, and not those of the Entertainment Network or any affiliated stations. Any comments or inquiries should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for listening.
Sitting down and designing, where every man them are thinking, what are we gonna be wearing? Yo, I'm a Liverpool MC, you can't trust me. Big up the girls inside the party. Let's get down to crazy Jimmy. Big up myself and known as Alfie, the one and only, the Turkish MC.
Always love the clothes of Jimmy.
British, I'm your wanna be. Jimmy Star, new celebrity.
We'll take you out to Jimmy Stars.
Hey ho, what's up everybody? Welcome to the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell, bringing you the good times in music, fashion, pop culture, and entertainment. We got a great show. Before we say hi to everybody, let's first say hi to our past birthday boy and cool, outrageous co-host, Mr. Ron Russell. Happy birthday.
Thank you, darling. Yes, it's been an extraordinary birthday. I've been celebrating for days. I'm 83 years old, and I guess you celebrate being 83. But not too many people, unfortunately, arrive at 83. But anyway, my daughters did a beautiful little private dinner party last night for Jimmy and I. They decorated the table and had all kinds of good food. We did a Memorial Day barbecue birthday, and it was lovely. For my birthday, Jimmy bought me the Zelda game, which I love. You know,
The new one.
The new one. Tears from something. Because I read a long time ago that when you get older, you should play video games because of eye coordination and your brain. It keeps the brain from getting old.
And you like them.
And I love them. and plus, then he took me shopping. He said, get whatever you want. And I said, okay. You know what? I like this. I like that. I like that. No, not really. We went to Nordstrom's rack, and I got this shirt, which I love, and a bunch of shirts that I need because I like to change clothing every week. I never wear the same shirts twice. I almost have 300 shirts. So now I have to go through the closet and give away the shirts that are out of style and the shirts that I no longer wear. They're taking up room to put the new shirts in. So it was a lovely birthday, and my guy is the sweetest thing in the world, and I love him to death. And he's a good guy. He made my birthday very happy. We went to Versace because I'm looking for a little bag to put my phone in and a credit card, a shoulder bag. This way I don't leave it in. See,
A masculine one.
Man, we have two cars. So when I go from his car to my car, my driver's license is in his glove compartment. So it stinks. If I have this little bag, then I'll always have my license and my phone with me. So I said to the lady, how much is this bag? She said, it's on sale for $500. I said, the bag is this big. I said, you know, in 1958, I bought a brand new car for $500. Anyway, she laughed. She said, sir, it's on sale. It's normally $1,000. So we left Versace, obviously. I think $1,000 to wear somebody's name and to give him the commercial. Why should I pay $1,000 and have everybody that likes me say, oh, if Ron Russell has one, I can have one too? You know, it's nonsense wearing all of these designers' names and giving them free commercial. And they enjoy it. They make fun of us. Not me, but those that wear designer. They make fun of them. They say, look at them. They spend fortunes of money to wear our logo and giving us free publicity and commercial.
Don says Coach has nice ones.
Coach? I don't care who it is. I would like.
He's not paying him $500 for anybody.
No. I would like a little bag that has nothing on it. Just a little
black leather one.
A little black leather bag for my phone. I'm not going out to impress anybody. You know what? I'm beyond that crap. I impress people with who I am. If I can't impress you with my personality, what? I need a designer piece of crap to make you think I'm somebody I'm not? Meanwhile, rich people wouldn't wear designer if you paid them. They refuse. And if they do wear a designer, it's a very discreet designer that nobody knows about. But, you know, the people that I see wearing Chanel obviously can't afford it. They're either fake Chanel they're wearing, or they got them from somebody or in a garbage pail, or what, I don't know. Anyway, Chanel, Balenciaga, all those wonderful Yves Saint Laurent, all those wonderful designers of the 1950s are gone, and now it's a commercial.
Balenciaga's back. We went into a Balenciaga
but it's not.
store.
I was in It's not Balenciaga, Audrey Hepburn, Grace Kelly.
No, it's Balenciaga's $600 T-shirt that says Balenciaga.
Yeah, I mean, stupid shit that Balenciaga is turning over in his grave. Leave it alone, folks. Just don't be a sucker for labels. You know, it doesn't impress anybody. Most people get jealous or laugh at you. So, and for those that say, "Oh, you got a Chanel bag, it's $1,000." No, this is the best one. We went in Saks Fifth Avenue outlet, and they had used bags on sale, designer bags, used. There was one for $6,000 used. The ugliest green plastic piece of junk that it looked like something my old lady would have thrown out years ago. My mother would have thrown out. What are people going crazy? $6,000 for a pocketbook?
They're way more than that. They're like,
but you know what? If I were a woman, I'd be embarrassed to wear one because of all the poor people. I mean, you go into a restaurant and you put a $6,000 bag on your seat, and the waitress,
that was used, so knew it was probably
but the waitress looks at the bag and says, "Look at this bitch. She's got $6,000 to throw away on the bag, and watch, she'll leave me $1.50 tip on a $70 bill." So, you know.
Anyway, let's say hi to everybody.
Live accordingly, everyone.
Let's say hi to everybody.
A much nicer life when you need not to impress anybody. But you know how you impress people? With kindness and goodness and honesty. That's how you impress people.
I believe that too. So let's say hi to everybody.
First, hi, everybody.
Julia is back in the chat room. Hey, Julia, how are you doing? Dawn Hinton, always in the chat room. We love you, Dawn. Cindy Lady Lake is in the chat room. Boomer Mays, football player extraordinaire, is in the chat room. Teresa Saban is in the chat room. Nice to see you, Teresa. Hope everybody's happy. We have great guests today. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. First, we have actor/stunt performer Mike Dopud, I think is how we pronounce his name. And second half, we have Dennis Mallen coming on. It's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm looking forward to both of them. So I think it'll be terrific. And we had a nice, relaxing weekend, and now we're back to
I hope
work.
Everyone had a happy Memorial. Memorial Day is a very important day, especially to me, because I can remember back in 1944, 45, when I was a very little boy, 3 or 4 years old, I asked my mother, I said, "Mommy, why are there stars on people's windows of their homes?" And my mother said, "Because they lost a family member." And I remember passing one house that had 4 stars, and that woman lost 4 sons in Pearl Harbor. He was on the Saratoga, I think, when it went down. All the 4 brothers. Well, they changed the law. Brothers are not allowed to be on the same ship or in the same airplane, so that if anything happens, you don't wipe your family out. So Memorial Day to me is a special day because it saved us from the Japanese and from the Nazis. If they would have taken over our country, it would have been a terrible place to live. So thank you, gentlemen, who fought in all the wars, and to the families that lost their family. My heart goes out to you, really, it does. I think it's a wonderful thing, Memorial Day, and everybody should remember what it's for. It's not for hamburgers and hot dogs and beer.
We also want to tell everybody, so we watched the last episode of Miss Maisel. We're very sad Miss Maisel is gone. The Marvelous Miss Maisel is such a fabulous show. The series is over. I think there's 5 seasons of it.
Written so well.
And if you haven't seen it, you should definitely see it. It's on Amazon Prime, you guys. It's really
Directed beautifully. Costumes, sets, everything brings you back to the 50s, 60s, and 70s. To me, it was a trip back in time. I love it. And she's brilliant. She's a brilliant actress. The only thing I'm afraid of is we're never going to see her ever as anybody else in a movie. We'll always think of her as Maisel. This has happened to Lucille Ball. Lucille Ball, who was I Love Lucy, could never be anything but Lucy, no matter what movie she was in. Even when she was in the movie,
I don't know what movies
the
Lucy
one
was
that
in.
Angela Lansbury did on Broadway, Mame. When Lucille Ball did Mame, we saw Lucy. Fran Drescher is having a little bit of a problem with that also, because no matter what Fran Drescher is in, we see the nanny, and we want, oh, Mr. Sheffield, we want that. So I think that it's called typecasting, and it happens to a lot of people, a lot of actors. So Jim, what are you doing?
I'm typing to everybody in the chat room. The chat room is busy today.
Busy chat room. Hi, chat room. How's everybody? Did you have a good time? Did you have a good Memorial Day? I hope so.
So let's do some quick. Oh, no, I didn't, Dawn. I didn't see the other shows. I've only watched that one, Yellowstone. Real quick, let's do a little ad for every place that you can listen to our show, you guys. We want to thank everybody for tuning in every week. You can hear us, obviously, live on W4CY from 12 to 2 p.m. Pacific time and 3 to 5 p.m. Eastern time. If you're hearing replays, you can watch us on YouTube. We're on SoundCloud, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, iTunes, Spotify, Amazon Music, YouTube, Google Podcasts, Radio Public, TuneIn, Pandora, and Amazon Prime. Those are the biggest outlets. And then we're also on like 150 other ones, which I don't know which they all are. Everybody won't know them. But we're on every major one. So we want to thank everybody for tuning in. We've had some really good shows lately, and a lot of people have been listening because we've had some big ones.
It's funny. I spoke with my sister-in-law, and she said, I listened to your show the other day, because she's never seen or listened to any of our shows. And she listened to one. And I said, honey, you could see us. She said, I can. I said, where the hell have you been? I said, we're on television. We're all over the world. We're on everything you have. You could see us on your cell phone. So everybody out there, we are not a radio show. We are a /radio podcast /TV show. And we could be seen everywhere. Web show. And I think watching us is better than listening, because you can see things, that expressions that we do, and things that that listening just doesn't do.
Absolutely.
Right.
But we want to thank everybody. However you listen or watch, we want to thank you, because our numbers are going up. We're at like 1.1 billion.
I know. I don't
know
what the hell we're doing. I mean, whatever we're doing, I guess everybody loves it. And I want to thank all of you for being such faithful fans, and for watching us and listening to us every week. It's quite a compliment. I can remember when I did stand-up comedy live on stage, how if an audience didn't respond to a joke, I would say, oh, and it was sad. And then when they loved a joke and applauded and laughed, how wonderful you feel. Well, it's the same thing now. Of course, I don't know who you are, or if you're clapping or booing, but whoever you are, that you're part of that 1 billion. I love you.
I also want to give a shout out to Lady Lake, because she always puts out so much.
She puts out
great. She puts out great promos for us every week to make people aware of the show.
Jimmy, learn where to put the commas when you speak. You can't say Lady Lake puts out and then continue. Because what if somebody's television, the electric went out, and they heard Lady Lake puts out, blingo, the television goes dark. Then they're going to call up their girlfriends and say, guess what? Jimmy Star said that Lady Lake puts out.
Well, Cindy Lady Lake, you guys, she's Lady Lake Music on Twitter, and she's been friends of mine for ever and ever and ever on social media. We do all kinds of projects together. She's fabulous, and she's one of the best music promoters probably in the world.
Yep.
So she's fabulous. Follow her on Twitter.
Eileen Shapiro does a damn good job too.
We don't do that. We do PR.
No, I know
promotions.
that, but Eileen pushes.
Puts out too.
Yes, I know Eileen well. She's been putting out since she's 14. No.
Oh, and Cindy had a birthday too. I think it was last week.
Yes,
so
it was
I think we said
last
happy
week.
birthday. Happy birthday,
I
Cindy.
did a happy birthday on her thing, Jim.
Oh, and we want to give a shout out to B. Claudia, who's having all kinds of problems in Germany with her flat being flooded and all kinds of stuff. So B, we're sending you love and hugs. We miss you, and we hope that you can make it back soon. But more importantly, we hope that you and your family are okay.
Right. How come that? Why is it Germany floods? I never knew that.
No, the pipes, I think, broke in the building or something. I don't know.
Oh, so she had an apartment flood, not a flood from weather.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You have to, you have to let the people know what you're talking about.
Well, a lot of people actually know BT.
Yeah, I know, but the millions of people that are watching or listening, they're going to think the poor lady, they're going to all be calling their relatives in Germany. Are you in the flood? See, Jimmy, Lady Lake puts out and B is in the flood. So you see, Jimmy is not a good reporter. He doesn't really, do it. You got to be more specific, honey.
I'm working on it. I'm working on it.
You're such a cute guy. I'm going to keep you,
Okay, that's good.
I was angry with him last week, as you all know, because he announced on TV about Tina Turner, which is so sad because I know everybody dies. We all have to die. And it was Tina's turn. But yet, I don't know. I loved her very much. Her music was fun. I was in Europe, in Italy at the time with my daughter Leslie, when What's Love Got to Do With It came out. And we went to a wonderful nightclub called the Cove Northeast Cove. It's in Genoa. It's on the Riviera. And it's a mountain of rock with the ocean slapping against it, the most beautiful setting in the world. And they played Tina Turner's song. So every time I heard it, of course, it brought me back to that moment. As you know, music does bring us back to the first love, making out in a car in Astoria Park by the river. But songs bring that back. Music does wonderful things for us. And those people who bring us all that wonderful music, we love them very much. Anyway, rest in peace, Tina. May you travel to the next world as you said you would do.
So we're going to bring on our first guest. Hang on one second. I just got to say, because our second guest is in there too, but he's like way early, so I'm letting him know.
Second guest, you're way early.
So first up, we're going to bring on our first guest. Let's go ahead and bring on Mike.
Mike!
Hey guys, how are you?
Hey, how are you?
Doing great. How are you?
Fantastic. So I'm going to ask you a question first.
Okay.
I'm before I make my announcement, I want to make sure I got the name right. So I wrote down Dopud. Is that correct?
Perfect.
Oh my God! I actually wrote D-O-U-G-H, and Pud, like put, so I wouldn't screw it up.
Yeah, and usually you say D-O-U-G-H and then Pud as in pudding.
Yes, and it was perfect then because I wasn't sure, and I watched a couple interviews just to see how they introduced you, but they didn't all do it right, so I wasn't sure which was the right one.
well, you did.
All right, everybody. Now we want to welcome to the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell, actor and stunt performer Mike Dopud. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
I'm just going to say Mike.
Yeah.
Actually, part of your name is Pud, which in Yiddish is Pudum, which is your face. And I could say Shena Pundum, which means handsome face. So there you go.
Thank you.
Your name in Yiddish is handsome face.
I'll take it. Thank you.
So this is my cool, outrageous man about town co-host Ron Russell.
How are you?
I'm great, Ron. How are you?
Good. I'm with my little
and we have a chat room filled with people, so say hi to everybody in the chat room.
Hi, guys. Thanks for tuning in.
Actually, first off, because we have a lot of loyal people who are always in the chat room, but we have one loyal person who was so excited you were coming on, primarily because of Violent Night. She's a big horror fan. Her name is Dawn. So just give a shout out to Dawn because she's like, you got to get him to say hi to me. So her name's Dawn.
Hi, Dawn.
There you go.
Dawn, how you doing?
She'll love it. We have the coolest people in our chat rooms and people who support the show. It's a lot of fun. So welcome to the show. You've been in so many cool ass things. You guys can follow Mike. He's on Instagram, except for that his name is reversed. So it's Dopud Mike. It's at Dopud Mike instead of Mike Dopud. Follow him on Instagram. You've done a lot of great interviews. You're in a lot of great shows. Let's first talk about Arrow because John Barrowman's a friend of ours. He actually lives down the street from. We live in Palm Springs. He lives down the street from us, and he is our second biggest show in 15 years ever. We had 10 million views.
And you know why? We opened.
I've never met John. Can you believe it?
Oh my God! And you're on 6 episodes of his show.
Oh, he's a great guy.
Hang on.
When we opened our show, he was there tongue kissing a blow-up female doll. That's how he opened our show.
As one does, right?
So John is hilariously funny. Has a wonderful sense of humor. I think he's a great comedian. Too bad he doesn't work as a comedian. Do you like comedy? Would you like to do?
I do. I love comedy. But again, I was just talking to my agent about that. And a few mutual friends that we have that are comedians. And sometimes I help other actors put themselves on tape and that kind of thing. And they're comedians and they're like, yeah, I don't know why you never get a shot at it. You never get a chance. And I think you get sort of pegged in a little box, right? Because I do a lot of dark things. I tend to play a lot of dark characters. So I think that's why they don't see me as being able to be comedic. But
it's so funny though, because looking at you, you have like the nicest smile ever, and you're like this nice guy, and the characters you play are some fucking motherfuckers.
Thank you. As Hitchcock said, it's called acting, Jim. I always play tough guys. I play mafia, always an Italian. I play, those terrible roles. When all my life I was a stand-up comic on stage. So I've done comedy all my life, but I love doing drama. I'm in a movie soon to be shot where they tell me my son has been killed and I have to cry. I am so excited. People think I'm nuts. They say, you're excited to cry in a movie? I said, have you any idea what it's like to be in the movie? 64 years in the business, and I've never cried. I've always made people laugh. So, yeah, I can understand how comedy would be the other venue.
Absolutely, yeah.
So I have a question then.
Do you resent being always the murderer and the killer? Do you say enough already? Do you say, hey, guys, enough with that crap?
No, look, at the end of the day, it's fun, right? Like, you get to kill people you're fighting or you play this evil character that you can't do that in real life. And for me, it's just a fun way to play with a character. And I absolutely enjoy it. And, you get applauded, right? People, great job. Or they applaud you for being this badass. Right. And in some ways, it's kind of fun to do. So, yeah, I enjoy it.
Well, I knew a lot of great comedians in my day, very famous, and their desire was to do drama. And you know what? The comedians made the best dramatic actors, if you want a fact. I don't know how it happened, but some of the funniest people in the world were wonderful as dramatic actors.
Yeah. And, here's another interesting fact. Leslie Nielsen, who was a dramatic actor for years.
We knew him.
All of a sudden, Airplane comes out, and he was this comedic genius, right? And it's pretty amazing how you get put into a certain box, and then all of a sudden, people will see you in another light. And they're like, "Oh my God, I always knew you were funny." And you're like, "Wait a second,"
I met him years ago in Florida. He lived in Florida.
He lived in Fort Lauderdale, a couple of blocks away from me.
Friends of mine said, I'm going up to see Leslie Nielsen. You want to come along? I said, oh, I'd love to meet him. He's a funny guy. Well, when we got up in the apartment, he was in white jockey shorts and nothing else. So I thought that was pretty weird. I said to my friends, was he expecting you alone? And they said, no, he does that because it was very hot. And he didn't like air conditioning, so he liked to sit on the veranda of his apartment in his white jockey shorts. And I thought, interesting. Different. Well, he was a nice guy. Let me tell you, he was funny guy, even when he wasn't working. Funny guy. Whatever you said, he twisted it around and made it a joke. He was a very, very funny fella. And very, very nice looking. Big, tall guy, nice.
How tall are you? Are you really tall?
I'm 6 feet tall. I actually doubled Leslie Nielsen years ago on a movie. And that was fun. I got to meet him, but we did a lot of second unit stuff. So I doubled him. Just a lot of running and jumping because he was older at that point and he couldn't really run and jump over these stairs and stuff. So that's what I was doing for him.
Did you get to socialize with him?
Pardon me?
Because he did a lot of second.
Did you get to socialize with him a little?
A little bit, very little though. But he was very gracious and very nice and said thanks, for doing all the stunts for him. So it was great.
So you started as a stunt person pretty much, right? Because I looked at your credits and you're like a stunt person on all these like huge movies, and then now you seem to be you're still doing stunts, but also now you're actually like acting as like the lead guys and everything and lots of things.
Yeah, I mean, look, I started acting and doing stunt work at the same time. It's just that stunt wise, all of a sudden I started getting big movies, and I was very fortunate to be able to work right off the bat. So it was one of those things that just happened sort of started working more in stunts, but I still did plays and I still worked at my craft. And then eventually I knew I'd have to get out of stunts because I was already banged up from playing football and hockey, and I'd had a bunch of surgeries already. So I knew my time was limited.
Okay. Do you know a guy named Alessandro Fulcito? He's a stunt guy, but he's actually he lives in Atlanta, but he's in everything though. Like you,
no, I don't know him.
Okay.
Burt Reynolds always said about his ache. Burt had very bad bones broke, remember?
Yeah.
I mean, he couldn't hardly walk, and he would bluff it for a movie. But I knew him many years ago for a long time. He was my very good friend through Lee Winkler. So I was in Burt's company a lot, and just getting up, sitting. He used to complain about getting up. He said he couldn't even get off the toilet bowl. He had to have things put in the bathroom to hang on. That's how bad his legs were and his neck and his shoulders. He was a beaten up guy when he was a stuntman. How about you?
I was too, and I think I was lucky enough to work with Burt on a movie called In the Name of the King.
Great guy. Don't you love him?
And he was amazing. And
wait a second. Jason Statham's in that, right?
Pardon me?
Jason Statham's in that.
Yes.
Did you get to meet Jason Statham?
Yeah, I got to work with
That's his favorite. That's his favorite.
I love him. I think he's great. I want to be him. He beats up 10 people at once. I love it.
He's amazing, and he's really good too. He's very talented and very gracious as an actor. So I was very lucky to work with him.
Jason is.
Yes.
Yeah,
Burt had a humor that went beyond belief.
Oh, yeah.
Burt was the funny. I love Burt a lot. I mean, I could tell stories. I can't tell too many stories, but I could tell.
Burt's brother was my high school football coach, so he came to school all the time.
Right.
And since I was in with all the athletes, like we got along great. So I got to see him a lot.
Burt was a regular Joe. He was not a star. He would meet. I mean, we would walk out from a restaurant down in L.A. and people would recognize him before we got to the car, and he would sign autographs and, "Hey, buddy, how are you, pal?" And he was just everybody's best friend. I loved him a lot.
That's great. You know what? I really enjoyed working with him. He was such a gracious person,
generous,
everything. Though he was an icon to me. I mean, he was somebody that I looked up to, being a stuntman and ex-football player. He played at Florida State University, and I played at Southern Illinois, so we had that bond as far as being ex-football players. And he was a stunt guy too, and I was a stunt guy, so it's one of those things where we just hit it off. And he was such a sweet man. I really enjoyed working with him.
The best.
So I want to brag.
Enough good things about.
I want to brag a little bit for you. So guys, just so you get an idea, like when I say stuntman, it's not like the movies that we do. So here's some of the movies he's been stuntman in.
That's not nice.
Sean,
wait, some of our best friends are directors and producers.
I know, but some of our movies really suck.
But wait a minute. Wait, hang on. Listen, I've worked with some great directors in these shitty movies. What's wrong with the movie is the budget. They're $150,000 films shot in a day in a toilet. So how can you make a great film? But that doesn't mean the directors are not fabulous, the producers or the actors. Jimmy.
I'm a great producer.
So there's a lot of great talent in these crappy movies.
I'm not doing those anymore, though. I'm in the $1 to $7 million range.
Sarah French is in.
He won't know.
No, he won't know, but he will one day know who she is. Sarah French is in all these movies, and she's skyrocketing. She's a beauty with a great talent. She can do anything.
So hang on, let me brag for him.
Talk before you brag for him. Talk about all the people that came out of bad movies.
Oh, lots. He probably has a few. I don't actually.
Did you ever do any of those?
I didn't see any shitty movies really on your IMDb. You don't have.
Oh,
or maybe I just skipped them. I only wrote down the like.
Skipped them. Man, I can't remember, but there's been a few movies where.
I mean, you were in like the clown,
the
clown at midnight, or some weird. But hang on,
a few indie films that I helped out friends of mine that after you watch it, you're like, oh my God, what were they thinking? They actually had no idea what they were doing. But you try to help out sometimes, and you do a couple scenes, watch the whole thing put together, and you're like, oh my God,
I'm doing a cameo.
We do that a lot.
I'm doing a cameo for a friend, and I don't do cameos, and but for friends, you do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So here's some of the films, you guys. Tron Legacy, Percy Jackson and the Olympians, The Lightning Thief, 2012, Night at the Museum. I think there's a bunch of them. Watchmen, The Day the Earth Stood Still, Shoot 'em Up, Fantastic Four, Rise of the Silver Surfer, 300, X-Men, The Last Stand, Slither, Fantastic Four, iRobot, The Chronicles of Riddick, Head Over Heels, Mr. Magoo. You're also on Battlestar Galactica, but that was, I don't know if that was stunts. You were an actor?
No, that was all acting. Yeah.
Acting. Anyway, those are all huge.
When you did Mr. Magoo, that was with Leslie, right?
That was with Leslie. That's where I doubled him.
Because he was Mr.
It's a hilarious movie.
He was a wonderful Mr. Magoo.
Oh, yeah.
He looked and acted, and that voice, you had that Mr. Magoo voice. He was great.
Yeah, he was amazing.
Yeah.
So then you also did another movie with Jason Statham, Chaos.
Yes.
That's like his. We're married, by the way, and that's like his past. Like if God forbid Jason Statham came running down the street naked, I was like, okay, that's your one.
That's what you say. It makes me out to be some flaming faggot. No. That's what you say. I love the fact that he is so outrageous. 20,000 guys are coming at him and he beats them all up. And I find that to be fascinating that they get away with that in the movie. And I like Jason because he's a tough guy. And I've watched him in interviews and he's a regular Joe. He's a nice, down-to-earth buddy. He's not a show-off or a creep. I don't like, how about you? What do you feel about when you work with them? Oh, I'm a star of the movie. Instruct this man. He's never to look at me. Speak to me.
I've had that happen. I've had that happen to me a couple times. But when you meet the actor, they're totally fine with you. So I wonder if it's the assistants or the producers that sometimes say that, because you meet the actor and they're happy to see you and talk to you, unless they're full of shit and they're saying shit behind your back. But for the most part, one actor was maybe a bit full of shit because afterwards he complained. But
because you talked to him?
Yeah, I was talking, not so much myself, but I guess the core of us that were there.
You know what I would do? I would tell whoever it is, please tell them to go fuck themselves. Ron Russell said it. Now kick me off the picture and I will blast your rotten name all over the industry. I am media big. I am very media big. You don't play with me. And I would tell them, who the fuck do you think you are? Why, you think your shit don't smell? Please. You're an actor, buddy. An actor. You didn't invent the cure for AIDS. You're an actor. With everybody.
And I did say something. And
what did you say? Tell me what you said. I'm excited.
Oh, I just basically said, what's he talking about? He was talking to me. So don't play two-faced here. Did somebody say something wrong? Or they said, no, it's not really. Well, maybe it wasn't you. I said, well, then don't talk to me if it wasn't me. Don't mention it.
That's right.
And then I asked the actor, and of course they said, no, everything was fine. I never said anything, right? So I don't know who was in the right or wrong, or I just know that, I won't take that. And I've been known on a few occasions to say my piece. And because I don't care. Like you said, Ron, you said it perfectly. You're an actor like me. We're just here trying to make something.
And today, if you have $1,000 to invest in a film and you're nobody, you could be an actor too. So today, an actor,
not in his films.
An actor is not the vintage that you and I are. I'm in the business 64 years. I earn my credits. But these people that invest $1,000 to be in a movie that cannot act, spoil it for me. Right. If I work with you and I say to you, Tamari, you're dead. Don't you make one move now, or you're going to get it now. You're going to come back with something incredible, right?
He's talking about if he's acting, not if he's like.
No, acting. But if I do that,
Ron, you're scaring me.
Oh, wait, if I do that with $1,000 put-in actor, they stand there with their fingers up their ass, wondering what the hell is he talking about? It's called acting, moron. So if you don't get fed back, look, those actors that don't want you to talk to them, without you, they'd fall right on their asses. They would fall flat on their faces. It's the little actors that make the big actors look good.
I agree.
No, I'm not. Why are you making it? I'm talking about him. This show isn't in general show. This is a conversational show. It's not an interview show where he's going to be bragging about all the shit he's done that nobody gives a fuck about. People want to know about him. What kind of
they're already asking, how come you speak Serbian?
Because my family is Serbian, and I was the only one not born in the former Yugoslavia. My brother, my parents. I was born in Montreal.
See, Mike, where do you live now? Do you live in LA?
I'm in Los Angeles and Vancouver. I'm up in Vancouver right now. We're doing a show here starting in a couple weeks. But yeah, I spend a lot of time in both Vancouver. My kids go to school here.
Do you know Steve Basic?
Yeah, of course.
He's a very good friend of ours, actually a good friend of mine, and he's been on the show. He was just on the show 2 weeks ago, but
Great. Yeah, I love Steve.
Guy. Yeah, he's a great guy. Good friend of mine.
But I just want to go back. Our show brings out who you are to the world. 5 million people watch us, so you better watch what you say. Because seriously, no, the reason that we're a successful show, number one, I have to brag, is because we don't do corny interviews. What made you decide to be an actor?
We might ask that too as part
of
it.
What gives a shit when you decided? I want to know, are you married? What do your kids do? Are your kids drug addicts?
Is your daughter okay?
Yes.
What was wrong with your daughter? Tell me.
She hurt she got a hip pointer playing soccer a couple weeks ago, and we thought it was getting better, and she was just running with her buddies to the bus stop, and it just pulled again, and she was in tears, and she's not one to cry over injuries and that kind of thing. So
that means it had to be bad.
Yeah. And then went to physio, went to the doctors. They were worried there was a tear in the hip flexor, but there isn't. They think it's a hip pointer.
That's painful. I went through that 2 weeks ago with my daughter Deirdre. Oh, she was in such agony and pain with her hip. She pulled a muscle the same. Very painful.
Oh,
and
yes. I had it too. So I really, when she told me, and then when the doctors and the physio said it looks like a hip pointer, I was like, okay. Mm-hmm. I see your pain, so I said, let's just rest. Let's rest.
My daughter's in her early 40s, and I had to say, oh, baby, Deirdre, okay, Daddy's here. Oh, let me see the boo-boo, honey. Oh, and she said, Johnny, it hurts so much. 44 years old.
48.
48. Oh, my God. She's
getting in trouble now, Ron.
And I got one 54 years old. I got a 54-year-old.
You were 10?
No, I'm 83 years old.
He turned 83 on Sunday.
What?
No way.
2 days ago, 3 days ago, yes. And he's still working. He's got like 6 or 7 movies that are put on hold right now.
Good ones, not those inexpensive ones.
The inexpensive. So let's brag a little bit.
You look great, Ron.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
First of all, we got to talk a little bit about Violent Night. I didn't see it. I am going to see it. I'm going to wait till Christmas to see it.
Wait, why? Is it a Christmas movie?
Yeah, you won't like it. That's why. Because it's about a murderous Santa Claus.
Oh no,
it is. But there's a lot of heart in the movie as well. So you have to watch it. You have to see it. It'll surprise you.
Oh, I love them. So horror is my favorite genre.
Wait, is it? Excuse me, because I don't want to mislead our audience.
And they all know what it is. It was a big blockbuster movie theater.
Is this about a Santa Claus, the real Santa, who's bad? Or is it an imposter?
No, it's the real Santa who's not bad. He's just caught in a terrible situation where he has to deal with these mercenaries that are taking this family hostage.
Oh, so
and
he
ends up having to save them or try to save them because he happens to be there right on Christmas Eve. He's delivering gifts and he gets stuck in this situation.
Mike, he's a hero.
Yes.
Oh, that's more like it.
I love it. So I actually collect.
I'll watch it.
I collect action figures and stuff, and so I have what's the big Santa one I have? I have
the ugly one.
Yeah, now I forgot. Anyway, I have like all kinds of 7 foot,
he's the Christmas
7 foot statues that move and do all kinds of stuff. Awesome. I have everything. Do you have a Funko Pop? Do you have any like action figures made of you for any of your roles?
I think there were a few, but I don't have any. Oh, you know what? I do have.
Tell me who though, so I can go look for. Because I
have.
I'm on the show. I collect the action figures.
I'm drawing a blank on the names of those little
Funko Pop.
Yes, I have one of where I played Vincent on the 100.
Okay, I'm gonna get it
on the 100.
I'm getting one.
We're getting them made for us.
Oh wow!
And it's nice because the one they have for me has white hair and black eyebrows, and I'm holding a microphone and little Astro. So I love my Funko Pop.
We're actually having them done. So you guys, that was Violent Night. Also, you have a new movie that's just coming out now, Mercy, or just came out. It just came out on the 19th, a week ago.
Yes. That's with John Voight and Leah Gibson. And John Voight. It was
Jonathan Rhys Meyers.
Yes,
I know John Voight really well.
He is
How is John? Is he?
Oh, John
still,
was great. It's so nice and gracious. And it's funny because we didn't really shoot together. The way we had to shoot this movie was a lot of block shooting. So at times I'd have to use the script coordinator, to say the dialogue, especially with Jonathan Rhys-Meyers. He had a hard out where he had to leave to go do another movie. And so I had, one day of shooting with John, and the next day of shooting with John had to use a script supervisor. But very nice, very great. It was interesting because I'm a big fan of John Voight's.
He's a tough one.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
He's a tough one. His daughter, I lived in Beverly Hills.
Didn't let him finish.
And I'm sorry. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
I was just going to say that for me it was a thrill to actually meet and talk with him at the premiere.
Absolutely.
Well, I found him,
and I told him I was a big fan of his, and he turned around. He goes, "No, I'm a fan of yours," and he grabbed me and hugged me, and I was like, "Okay, that's pretty cool to have John Voight say that."
Oh, that's very cool.
I found him boring, standoffish, and cold.
No, was he?
His daughter, Angelina Jolie, who was Angie Voight. We lived in Beverly Hills. My daughter, Deirdre, and Angie were best friends. Angie played in my house. I used to make peanut butter jelly sandwiches for her. John would drop her off and pick her up. So I was always nice to John. John, come on in. No, that's fine. I'll stay out here.
Really?
Oh, really? Halloween time came, and we went to the haunted house in Beverly Hills. Angie was dressed as a fairy princess, and Deirdre was dressed as a flower. And Doris Day's son was throwing eggs at them. So Angie Voight got hit with eggs. And I said to John, your daughter, they're bombing her with eggs. He said, oh, that's okay. So I found him to be just he's an actor. And that's all he is an actor. The moment he's out of acting, he's nobody. And I'm sorry to say that because I tried so hard to be friendly with John. I can understand why Angie had trouble with him. Angelina Jolie has had a lot of trouble with him.
Yeah, and I well publicized.
I mean, when he went public and said his daughter wasn't mentally ill and dangerous, that was dreadful. He shouldn't have done that. So John Voight's not a favorite friend of mine. And I've met him many, many, many times. And he never warmed up. Whereas his ex-wife, Marshalena, Angie's mom, was a dream. She was the sweetest, the most friendly, loving woman. Beautiful, too. So
anyway,
that's my joke. I had to say that because all these years.
Look, maybe he's grown, right?
Yeah, no, you're talking about 40 years ago.
Well, the kids were like 7, 8, 5, 6,
40
7.
years ago. By the way, the movie I was talking about is Krampus. I have a giant Krampus. I don't know if you know what it is.
Okay.
I have a giant Krampus. So what I did though is I have the trailer since Mercy just came out. We're going to play the trailer real quick. Hang on, I want you to introduce it. Why don't play it for everybody, and then we'll come back just to help promote the film since if a lot of people watch the show, so that way a lot of people will go watch the movie, and that'll help. Hopefully, okay. Go ahead. Oh, go ahead. Introduce it, though. Say, hey, this is
here we have Mercy, starring John Voight, Leah Gibson, and Jonathan Rhys-Meyers, and myself, and a good friend of mine, actually, Sebastian Roberts, who was in it as well. And it's a story about an Irish mob that ends up taking over this hospital called Mercy. And I play a special agent hostage negotiator, Special Agent Duncan Jones, who comes in to try and save the day.
Sounds good.
Take it away, Juan.
Sean.
Dad, Ryan got shot.
Perhaps you can help me. I'm looking for my son, Ryan Quinn.
Your son?
Y'all waiting for somebody?
Yeah, it shouldn't be too long.
I don't like him checking this out like that.
Neither do I. Phone down, get up against the wall.
Where are we going? I need you to wait in here.
Can anyone please tell me where my son is being kept?
Stay quiet, and we'll get out of this together.
My father runs a clean operation.
No, I suggest you give me that phone call.
I assure you he was here with an FBI agent.
The feds moved Ryan. Send the boys out to find him.
Easy first assignment. Yeah, easy my ass.
Ellis.
My partner's dead.
Go, go, go! That's nowhere to start a negotiation!
Take the back stairs down to the boiler room.
What are you gonna do?
skills from a past life.
We got some help on the inside.
Captain Michelle Miller, Purple Heart, 3-time Gold Star.
Let's do everything we can to help that soldier.
They're searching for Ryan, and they are not going to stop.
Ryan, this family's going down, whether you like it or not.
I had an agreement. She was just going to hand Ryan back. She's working for the feds. I'm going to ask you once. Where's my brother?
Yay!
Looks exciting.
Fun movie.
Now, what do you think about women today that behave as she did? You know, Betty Davis in her day wouldn't do that if you paid her $1 zillion, because a lady was a lady. A woman was a woman. But women today are trying to be men. What do you think about that? I don't find that attractive in a woman.
I love it.
Beating up men.
You know what? Leah's great, and she's fantastic in this.
No, I don't mean her as an actress. I mean her part that she's playing.
Right. Look, I have nothing wrong with it. I don't think there's anything wrong with a woman trying to
That's
be
not
a hero.
real. A woman cannot beat up a man.
Yeah, they can.
Some women can, yeah. Like maybe generally no, but I know some women that could
If they kick him in the balls.
Wait,
and knock
what's
him
that?
out.
What's the lady with the blonde hair that we went to her party? She was in she's the fighter. Anyway. We have several female friends who are like action hero people, and I fucking love them. I think it's awesome.
Yes, but even they have said in reality, a powerful right hook from a man will fracture a woman's face. Women are not as strong.
I don't know, because my favorite character on SWAT.
Women's bones are not as strong as men's bones. We know that. Our jaws can take a lot.
Have you been on SWAT before? Do you ever see the TV show SWAT?
I know. No, it's one of the shows I wish I was able to get on.
Oh, we should do a campaign to get you on. You would be really good on it.
Thank you.
You would be really good on it. But my favorite character is the girl, like the girl SWAT officer. She's like awesome. She's really one of my favorite characters. It's not Honda's not my favorite character like everybody else. So let's brag a little bit. Here's some other stuff you guys that you've seen him in. Okay, he's got Mercy coming out, Violent Night. Redstone, The Predator. Oh, I love The Predator because that's horror. That's under me.
That was a good movie.
Deadpool 2.
Great movie. Great.
Project Eden, Skin Trade with a lot of big people. Michael Jai White, Dolph Lundgren. All these like big, like, you know, you're always in movies with all these intimidating people.
You know, it's amazing too. And you know, when I first wanted to get in the film industry, I'll tell you, I started because I loved Mad Max. That was the original Mad Max. I saw that movie and I thought, oh my God, I have to be in movies. That post-apocalyptic world I thought was just perfect for what I wanted to do.
How old were you when you decided?
Oh shit. 10, I would say. 10, 12. I can't remember.
So you were very young.
We did a movie recently with Vernon Wells, who's like the bald guy. And I don't know. That's not the first Mad Max. I think that's the second one. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Beyond Thunderdome was the third. Road Warrior was the second.
Yes. I think he's in that one. But like, so you wanted to, did you want to? Because you're pretty much like you're an action star, I guess, because you're a big dude. Were you big at 10?
Yeah, I was tall. I was 6 feet tall. I think when I was 12, and that helped me in sports because I was a little bigger than a lot of the guys starting out. But you know, everything evens out after. They started catching up to me, but I was quick, so that was okay.
So wait, hang on. Okay, so we got X-Men, Days of Future Past, Godzilla, Assault on Wall Street, which we actually had Yui Boll. I don't know if that's how you pronounce his name. We had him on the show.
I call him Uva.
Okay, when that movie came out, we actually had him on our show. Man of Steel, This Means War. Which did you get to meet Tom Hardy? He's one of my favorites.
Yeah. Tom was fun. And Chris Pine, both of those guys, I got to spend a lot of time with them on that movie, and it was a really good time. Actually, they're great, funny, and McGee is our director too. I remember the first day just blocking out a scene for like an hour because they had a vision, they couldn't figure it out, and then I came in and I had a different idea, and then we ended up combining. But it took us like an hour and 15 minutes. But I love the fact that they didn't rush it. And then, you know, there's always jokes flying every 5 minutes, somebody saying something funny, and it was good.
No, I love that because Tom Hardy to me, I don't know, to me, he should be like one of the biggest. I mean, he's really huge, but but I think he should even be huger. And like, did you ever see that movie he did about the MMA fighter?
Yeah, Warrior. He's great.
What a great movie. That's like the greatest. I've seen that movie like 10 times. So hold on. We have Final Destination 5, Rise of the Planet of the Apes, X-Men's Origins, Wolverine, Blood Rain 2, Animal 2, Snow Buddies, which in the chat room they're asking, how did you like working with dogs?
It was fun. Difficult at times, let me tell you. You know, because you have to do certain takes. You have to do them 10 times because they're
Over and over. Yeah.
Over and over just to get the right look. And sometimes what they do is obviously they block shoot a little bit. They just put the camera on the dogs for the puppies and then they fix it in editing. But there are times, where you're actually talking to the pup and you know what, they communicate, right? So every once in a while you get the perfect shot where they look at you and they with those puppy dog eyes, and it's great. It was but challenging. I will say that.
It's almost like you got to keep the camera rolling all the time, not to miss stuff.
Yeah, pretty much. And you know, our director Robert Vince and the producer of all those Snow Buddy movies, he was great at it. He had so much patience, and he knew how to. He'd done several movies, obviously prior to that one, and he was really good at it. Knew what to do, and he had different sets of dogs coming in. Because after a month, they'd all get bigger. A couple months, they'd all get bigger. And they'd have to use other pups.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to a movie I'll be in soon called Quigley, and it's about a dog who dies and goes to heaven.
No, it's not.
Oh, not?
It's about a dog. It's about a
I
dog.
thought he died and went to heaven.
No, he comes down from heaven to.
The fuck is the difference? He went.
He wasn't.
Comes down.
Well, anyway.
I mean,
it's a sequel.
Mr. Pain in the ass.
It's my movie, so it's a sequel, and then two dogs come down from heaven to save a toy factory from a real estate developer who's trying to steal it, and the real estate developer's trying to steal it, and all the toys in the toy factory are made by autistic people. It's a really good family movie.
Anyway, I will be working with dogs.
Yeah,
is
we'll
the
have
point.
2 dogs.
And I was going to ask you, what tips could you give me about working with a dog? I've never worked with a dog.
If you get to know the dog with the trainer, have the dog trainer introduce you to the dog properly and enjoy the dog. I mean, I did a movie once with a dog where they didn't want me to say hi to the dog because the dog had to be upset with me because I was the bad guy in the movie. And
oh wow,
so they wouldn't let me pet the dog at all, or
that's not.
And they would ask me to like stare at it, and
God, that's awful.
Yeah,
no, I love dogs, so I think I'm.
Yeah, we have 3 rescues.
I'm going to love working with these 2 dogs. It's going to be fun.
So wait, we have
it'd be great.
Shooter with Mark Wahlberg. We just saw 88 Minutes with Al Pacino not too long ago, and then a movie that I don't know if it did all that well. I might have done well. I don't actually know. I loved it. I've seen it a zillion times. Was Rollerball with Chris Klein, LL Cool J, Rebecca Ramin, Stamos, and Gene Reno. No, he's in the remake though.
Oh, not the original.
Not the original.
Not the original.
How was that? Like, and did you already know how to skate?
Yeah, I did, and that's one of the reasons I got on the movie. Because of my action background, and I could skate and do a lot of tricks on rollerblades. But you know, that was one of the craziest movies, most fun movies, most challenging movies. We had everything that could go wrong went wrong. Like one of our sets burnt down right before starting to shoot. They didn't have all the cast in place, and I was getting married. Here's a great story. So we're in Montreal. We're doing rehearsals, and they said, "Okay, we start shooting on Monday," and all of a sudden this is the Thursday, and I'm like, "Guys, I have to leave because I'm getting married on Saturday, and like in 2 days, so I have to." And they're like, "Yeah, don't worry, it's all good." And then John McTiernan, our director, says, "Okay, we start shooting Friday." I'm like, "Oh shit." Can't. I'm going to get married. So the producers are all like, we can't tell John that because he's so focused on the movie. If we tell him, he might fire you and I'm like, no, I've got a wedding to go to. I'm gonna get fired because of this wedding. And I'm like, well, I'm getting married, whatever. All my family from Montreal was in Vancouver at this point because my wife is from Vancouver. And so everybody's there in Vancouver. I'm in Montreal. So I finally get a flight thinking, oh my God, I'm going to get fired. And sure enough, I fly into Vancouver Friday morning. I get married Saturday, and I fly back Sunday morning. And John McTiernan's looking, and of course, he wants to shoot with me the first day, the first scene. So what the producers did was they got a photo double for me, and apparently it wasn't a great photo double. And so when John was looking for me, because they said, "Don't worry, John, we're not going to shoot any of your stuff. And sure enough, John decided to, he would change on a dime and decide to shoot certain scenes in reverse order. And so they had to use the photo double, and he was all upset. But they said, no, we told you he was getting married. So when's he back? Monday. Good. 6 a.m. Yeah, 6 a.m. Okay, good. So I didn't get fired.
But you didn't go on a honeymoon.
No, we didn't get the honeymoon. But we did do a honeymoon after the movie.
Okay.
He couldn't hold that shoot for another couple of days. That's
no, he was.
That's really what you call selfish Hollywood.
Okay, but you're talking about like how much? What's the budget on the film? Probably $50 million or something.
Yeah, I would say a good 50 million, and probably more because it was shot in Canada.
You see, this is why we have a union. Union protects the actors from this kind of behavior. He could have been reported to the union for that. Because
I'm sure he was, but he didn't care.
I know that, but you see, this is bad Hollywood. I don't care for that. I've been in situations where, not to me, but I've seen some pretty dirty, underhanded stuff happening, and I was appalled at it. They like to use us, like Hitchcock said, we're only cattle. Mm-hmm. Act as a cattle, which is really horrible for him to say it, because he was a fat slob that looked like a cattle. He looked like a cow, and he's calling us cattle. But it's really sad that actors are so abused in so many ways. So many ways they were abused.
Hang on, because we have...
And the union can't do anything about it. They reported. I think that was abuse for you.
Because obviously we kept shooting, and the producers were able to squash it. But
it was your wedding.
Did you like it? Did you like? Were you happy with the outcome of how that movie actually looked? I mean, I thought it looked great.
I liked it. I was expecting more out of it. And I guess John's version of because what we shot, there's so much of what we shot that didn't end up in the movie. And I felt bad for a lot of the stunt guys. It was a brutal shoot as far as stunt guys go. And a lot of guys got banged up, and I got beat up too. I broke my leg, hairline fracture, but there was all kinds of crazy action. But you know what? The sidebar to that was that my dad was dying of cancer. He was terminally ill with pancreatic cancer. And so we had to move up my wedding, which is why this happened as well.
Okay.
We moved up the wedding. We got married. I ended up shooting in Montreal where my dad lived.
Oh, that was nice.
It was perfect. So I got to spend a lot of time. I got to bring him to set before he passed. So in that way it's a really memorable movie for me. As far as I was able to spend a lot of time with my dad, which
it was your wedding. It wasn't a birthday party.
Yeah.
And I was on a film where they expect a huge rat. They made a rat the size of a Volkswagen, and and we're in a log cabin, and the rat is supposed to grab me by the leg, tears my leg off, throws me against the wall, then picks me up. I'm 80 years old at the time, 79, I think I was. And I said to the director, I can't do that. You guys have to get a double. They said, we can't afford a double. I said, but I can't do that.
That's crazy.
You're not going to throw me against a wall. I mean, what are you, crazy? I
can't believe the director did that.
He did. Anyway, this is one of the films that I walked off of because I wouldn't put up with their bullshit. So what did they do? They had the rat come upstairs from the basement with my arm and wristwatch in his mouth, indicating that he ate me in the basement. Now, they could have done that from the get-go without me having to have a fit.
Exactly.
So you see, this is what I mean about this. Is
those filmmakers.
The business. Burt Reynolds also had a lot of stories about how they once wanted him to go in a fire, and he refused to go in the fire. And they said, well, we'll replace you. Imagine replacing. Well, he was a stuntman. Then it was.
He wasn't Burt Reynolds then.
He was Burt starting.
I know, but he wasn't like Burt Reynolds.
Like he was. Yeah. But so I remember that story he told me. Yeah.
I think, first of all, sorry for the passing of your father. My mom also died of pancreatic cancer.
And my ex-partner, of 46 years,
a terrible disease.
Died from it.
Yeah, pancreatic cancer is a tough one, right? It's really, really hard on that person. It's crazy.
Terrible. So
no one has ever survived it.
In the chat room, they want to know if you've ever had to use your Serbian language in anything.
Oh yeah, I did a series called Power,
Yeah, it's a
on
good series.
Stars Network with 50 Cent. And so I spoke Serbian in that at times as well. I was a Serbian drug dealer, gang lord. And basically I was in charge of the whole drug feud. There ends up being a drug feud. So I was the one that created this drug feud. So it was, yeah, I mean, I'm this drug lord, a Serbian drug lord from Chicago.
Is Serbian a Slavic language?
Yeah.
What does it sound like? Say hello, how are you in Slavic?
Zdaboron, kako si mi?
Yeah, it's
Say
Slavic.
dobro.
I love it. So,
I know.
So do you
I
like
know
doing?
it.
Do you, since you've done a lot of both TV and movies, do you have a preference, or you don't really care? Is one of them easier than the other for you?
No, not easier. They both present their own challenges. But for me, I mean, doing movies is why I got into the film industry. So
Okay.
I would probably say that's number one. But I do love the steadiness of a television series, and the ability to create a character, an ongoing character for years is something that I really enjoy as well.
Do you still have to audition, or do you just pretty much, get roles just of who you are?
Are you kidding me? Of course I have to audition.
Everybody, listen.
Yeah, I
listen.
wish, but no. I mean, I get offers every once in a while, but
Yeah,
I audition all the time.
There's a major movie right now floating around, and the stars. I won't give you their names, but they're asked to audition, and they're big. Now, the question I wanted to ask you, and I forgot it. It was a good one too. Damn it.
It's okay.
Okay. Here we go. Honestly, if you were in bed naked with Charlize Theron making love, would you be turned on?
Do you find her cute?
I love her.
Charlize is beautiful.
I love her.
And when my wife watches this, she's going to hate me for this. But listen, that would be a situation where, I would literally, I'm sure you've heard the term. I'm sorry if I do it. I'm sorry if I don't.
Very good answer.
Good answer.
And very diplomatic too.
Good answer.
So that's funny.
I forget who the actor was, but he was making love, I think, to Jacqueline Bisset in a film. And they asked him that, did you get turned on? He said, hell, man. He said, if you don't get turned on by her, he said, you're dead. He said, of course I got turned on. He said, and I had to apologize because, it happened. And Jacqueline said, oh, I don't care. It was fun. So, the female girls, they don't get crazy. It happens, get an erection when you're making it naked. What can you do? It's nature. You have no control over that.
Yeah.
So you can maybe that if people watch this, they'll see this is the next thing. Maybe you can do a big romantic comedy. You could be like a leading man in a romantic comedy, and that'd be something new for you.
Oh, right. I love it. From your mouth to God's ears.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think Charlize is probably one of the most beautiful women in Hollywood.
I love her.
I think I've never met her or saw her in person, but my daughter Leslie did at an Academy Award function she went to, and she said that she was lovely and gorgeous.
Oh, great.
So here's my question I like to ask all the actors, and it's a two-part question. Actually, it's a three-part question. Bucket list, male and female actor that you haven't had an opportunity to work with that you would love to work with, and they can be living or dead. It doesn't even make any difference. And then the next part of it, if you could have ever been in any movie that's ever been made in history, what movie would you have liked to have been in?
Oh, man. That is crazy. There's so many great movies. Okay, let's go actors. There's an actor I really have a ton of respect for. Al Pacino and Robert De Niro, great guys. Anthony Hopkins is one actor that I would have loved to have been able to work with. And I still may. There's still time.
Yes.
I think Anthony Hopkins and Mel Gibson because of Mad Max. I've always wanted to work with Mel Gibson, so hopefully that can happen. I'm going to put it out there.
Oh, actually, I'll put that out there for you too, because I'm working on a film and they're talking about maybe getting Mel Gibson. So if we get him in the film, I'll come to you to play a role.
I'm in. You got me.
What female? You like, and don't say Meryl Streep like everybody does.
I would always pick Charlize Theron because she's my favorite.
Well, she is one of them.
Meryl
Streep was obviously. From Bridges of Madison County for me. is one of the movies that I love Meryl Streep in. And
it's a great romantic comedy. Not comedy, romantic drama.
You know, I was asked that question, and I said I would love to have played with Anna Magnani.
He might not know who that is.
You know who Anna Magnani was?
I don't.
Italian actress who's wonderful. Working with her would have been. Do you ever see Burt Lancaster in The Rose Tattoo with Anna Magnani?
Yes.
That's a part I would love to have played. That was a hell of a writing and a hell of a movie. And Burt and Anna were brilliant together. Absolutely brilliant.
So wait, okay, while you're thinking about another actress, give us a movie or two that you think that would have been fun to be in.
Well, here's another actress, Monica Bellucci.
Yes.
Yes.
That's a good one. And nobody's ever said that. That's a good one.
She's a good actress.
What movies? Oh, man. That's such a tough one.
We are a name-dropping show, in case you didn't get that by now. But you know what? People love it. They write us emails to send us things on the computer. Oh, more names, more names. We love what we do. We talk about the stars that we love. You make them real people. I said, well, they are real people. What do you think? They were cartoons. Actors are real people.
Movies.
I mean, because like some of the movies you've been in are like so freaking like amazing, awesome.
But I want to ask him that question. I have to ask you this question.
I want him to answer the movie question. I'll ask him another one and come back to the movie. We got 5 minutes left.
Before I forget, if a fan runs up to you and says, oh, I love you. I love your work. I think you're terrific. Oh, I'm so excited to meet you. How do you react? Are you embarrassed? Do you blush?
Yeah, usually, because I'm Canadian, so I don't expect anybody to know who the hell I am, right? So I just walk up, and so I'm always caught off guard when people say that. But no, I'm the guy that I'll shake hands and hug and say, hey, thank you. You know, I'm greatly appreciative of people. You know, if my work resonates with people, if the movies I'm in resonate with people, if you come up to me and say, I loved you in this, I'll take the time. Obviously, if I'm having dinner with my kids or something like that, it'd be different. But I'd even tell them then, just give me a sec. But
sure.
Yeah, of course I would say hi and probably give them a hug.
That's a good answer. If I get recognized, I get very embarrassed. I feel stupid. I do. I said, I'm nobody. I've been around 100 years. Nobody knows who I am. What are you telling me how great I am? Do you ever see me in a movie? They say, well, yeah. Then they tell me the movie. I say, I wasn't in that movie. But you look like the guy that was.
Everybody always thinks he looks like Tony Curtis back in the day, and he was friends with.
Yeah, I can see that.
Tony Curtis was a buddy of mine, and I miss him every day.
So wait, go tell us a movie.
Oh shit. Okay. Well, this is a cop out a bit, but Mad Max obviously would have been.
Oh yeah, there you go.
The original. Just because I love that movie so much growing up, and that's what got me into acting. So that I would probably have to say it would be Mad Max.
I love it.
What else? I know there's other ones. I mean, okay, Star Wars would have been pretty cool to have been a part of. The original Star Wars, yeah.
We're doing a movie.
You would have been good in Star Wars.
Yeah, you would.
I could see you in that. For some reason, your face looks like it should have been in Star Wars.
So tell your agent to get you on The Mandalorian, and that'll open a door for you.
We've had some talks. They've tried. They've worked on some things, and so hopefully that'll come together.
I want to ask you a question, Mike, and it's a very, very political question.
2 minutes. Oh, don't ask politics.
It's not. Don't tell me what to do. You're not my director. You're my husband. Oh man. Anyway, how do you feel about gays have to act gay, Jewish, Spanish, Greek, that we're not allowed to be somebody else because it's racist? And that's what's been said to us. I have a movie that we're doing, and it's a Jewish woman that has got to be the character. She's very Jewish from Brooklyn, and now they tell me she must only be a Jewish actress because I wanted Jennifer, what's her name? Coolidge, but she's not Jewish.
Right.
So look at poor Jennifer didn't get the job.
That's a tough one. Look, because I'm not Russian, and I played Russians. I've played Albanians. I've played Greeks.
That's acting.
It's and to play gay, if I had to, I would. Yeah, I think it should be
But
allowed.
they won't do it because gay people would say, why didn't you get a gay actor to play gay? Why did a straight guy do it? Because they make us look like shit. So everybody's got this issue about their whatever. I think they should mind their fucking business. It's Hollywood. Get out of our lives with your politics. Let us go on with our work. Because if I'm only going to play Italian mafia, that's what I am. I'm Italian, and I always play mafia. No, I'd like to play something else.
Well, as actors, yes, that's what we do, right? We play
Yes.
different
Yeah,
characters.
but they only cast me now as an Italian cop, mafia, hitman. Because I get very butch. I get really tough when I work. And I don't look and I don't look like this. I look like Halo Chap.
Because we gotta
love
go.
it. I love
So
it.
Mike, you're a nice buddy.
You guys, this is
you're
Mike.
a nice guy, and I hope we meet one day. I'd like to shake your hand. You're a good guy.
Likewise, Ron.
You guys
You're a very,
follow
you're a
Mike.
really good
Follow
guy.
Mike
and a
on
good
Instagram,
actor.
you guys. Check out his new movie, Mercy. Check out all the stuff that we mentioned, all the names of, because he's got so many titles, and I'm sure there's many more coming. We wish you all the luck with everything that you're doing. I'm going to
Absolutely.
go look for your action figure tonight when we get off and see if I can find it. And and I'm going to put you on a list of people. And if we make a movie with Mel Gibson, we're also making a movie with Mark Hamill. That's a definite.
Oh, wow.
That's the one I'm in. I'm in
And
that.
he's in that one. So if
I'm
we
excited about that one. That's the movie.
So I might reach out to you and see if it got some stuff that you might be interested in once I get the money all lined up.
Perfect. I'm in. Thank you. Thanks, Jimmy. I appreciate that.
Absolutely. So have a good one. Good luck on the new show that you're starting soon, and best of luck to your daughter. I hope she's feeling better. And thanks so much
I
for
love
coming on the
Montreal.
show.
I love Montreal.
I know Montreal's a great city, right?
I love Montreal. I'm a New Yorker. So we used to drive up to Montreal to go to all the clubs. And I had the best times. When I was young, Montreal was rocking, baby. Let me tell you.
And Don says goodbye to the hot Santa that you're like smoking hot.
See, I'm blushing now. See?
See, I got
all
that-
the women, ladylike, all the women in the chat room, all they do is write, oh, look how cute he is. He's got a
See
great
that?
smile. He's so hot.
Oh, stop
So
it. You guys made my
Well,
day. Thank
If
you.
you didn't know, if they didn't know who you were before today, they do now, and they all think
Right.
you're gorgeous. So thank you so much for coming on the
Right.
show.
Thanks, Jimmy. Thanks, Ron. Appreciate it, guys.
Bye-bye.
Go and get them.
Yeah.
Go get them.
All right, everybody, we're gonna do a quick
What a
music
nice
break.
guy. He's
We're
a
gonna-
regular Joe.
We're gonna play 10 Sharp. You guys. When we come back, we'll have our second guest, Dennis Mallen. So enjoy 10 Sharp. This is you, and we'll be right back.
It's alright with me as long as you are by my side. Talk or just say nothing. I don't mind. Your looks never lie. I was always on the run, finding out what I was looking for, and I was always insecure. Just until I found words often don't come easy. I never learned to show the inside of me. Oh no, my baby, and you are always patient, dragging out what I try to hide. I was always on the run,
Hey, everybody. That was 10 Sharp You. We want to give a shout out. Hud Brevels joined us in the chat room, and he's just moving into his new house, so congratulations. And now we're going to bring on our next guest. Let's bring him on. Hey, ho, Dennis, what's up? How you doing?
Doing great, gentlemen. How are you?
Good. All right. Now that I know we can hear you, we'll talk. We'll do a proper introduction. All right, everybody. Now we want to welcome to the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell, actor, producer, casting director Dennis Mallen. Hello and welcome to the show.
Hey, gentlemen. Thanks for having me on. I'm glad I listened in to Mike's interview. Oh my gosh, what a tough act to follow. What a great guy, huh?
Yeah, he's a cool guy. Everybody, we don't invite him on if they're not going to be cool.
And we bring out the best in everybody.
That's it. That's it.
So this is Ron.
We know how to do it. How are you?
Ron, you look like Tony Curtis, my friend. Glad to be on. Heard a lot about you. Excited.
And we have a bunch of people in the chat room. Say hi to everybody in the chat room.
Hey, guys and gals. How's everyone today? Thanks for having me again.
Absolutely. Somebody named Katie Payne says, woohoo. I don't know who that is, so she might be somebody you know. Hey, Katie, what's up? Katie Payne in the chat room. All right, so
movie with Katie. I just did one
okay.
How old are you?
I am 53 years old, sir.
Oh, have I got a girl for you? Are you single?
I am engaged. Please do not get me in trouble.
Oh, shit,
I'm engaged. Please don't get me in trouble. He said.
I have an old maid daughter.
Yeah.
She was Miss America runner-up. She's a gorgeous. She looked like Michelle Pfeiffer, Grace Kelly.
But he's engaged. So
she's a green-eyed. I'm still selling. She's a green-eyed blonde beauty. I'm trying to get her.
So
married.
where are you right now?
You got any friends that are looking for a nice girl?
Well, Ron, first off, do I look like I'm 53?
What?
No.
Do I look like I'm 53?
No. Neither. My daughter doesn't look 52.
Nice.
Nobody looks. Do I look 63?
I know.
I mean 83. 83. What the fuck am I saying? But
you're a young Tony Curtis.
No one looks their age anymore unless they want to.
This is true.
So
where are you?
I'm on a roll here.
No.
Babe. Shut up. The girlfriend. What does she do? She's cute or what?
Sure
my fiance is gorgeous. She is. She did work for the Chicago Theater. She did production design, wardrobe design, and now I am her muse. So she takes care of me, and we've been together 4 years now.
Good. So you got engaged, right?
What's that?
You got engaged.
Yes, sir.
How big is the diamond?
Not big enough.
How big?
not big enough, Ron.
A carat at least?
Half
carat.
Yeah.
But it's in a really nice setting, right?
It's one of those big settings, making it look bigger than
So now you have to become a very successful actor so you can get $1 million a picture.
Actually,
that's the first thing. You gotta get that. I'm thinking 2 carats.
There you go.
What I love about Leanne, she's not ostentatious. She's very gorgeous as she is. Doesn't like big showy things. So
the size of the diamond doesn't matter. It's the love behind it that matters.
Can I write that down? I'm going to use
yes.
Yeah.
You should actually use that. That was pretty good.
It's true. I have a very old ring that was given to me many years ago, and it has 3 1 carat marquise. 1, 2, 3. So it's a 3 carat marquise.
Nice.
He said, when you die, I want that.
No, you said I would have it after 20 years. First of all, you said after we've been together 20 years.
You said to me one time, oh, when you die, I want that ring. Don't let your daughters get it.
No, you told because you had already told me I could have it.
Because Jimmy loves big diamonds.
I love ostentatious shit.
Nice.
So wait, I want to go back because I noticed on first of all, you guys can follow Dennis on social media. It's Dennis Mallen, ITSDENNISMALLEN, and that's his Instagram, TikTok, and I don't know what. I guess Dennis Mallen on Facebook probably, right?
Exactly.
And Dennis and I met through a friend of ours, a mutual friend, Rebecca Mahan, right? Isn't that how we met? Yes, many years ago. Yes. And we follow each other on social media. And on your social media, it says New York, LA, and Florida or something like. So how do you go bounce? Do you have places to live in all of them, or you just go bouncing for work all over the place?
Sure. Well, I'm originally from New York, New Jersey.
Okay.
Where in Jersey? Where in Jersey?
I was born in Kearny, New Jersey, Hudson County.
That's, that's northern Jersey.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Really north.
Yeah. Yeah. I come from the same county as Frank Sinatra, Peter Dinklage, and
no, Sinatra came from Hoboken.
Yeah, that's Hudson County.
Yeah, it's the same.
Oh, the county, but not the
Same
town.
county. Yep.
I was thinking you were further north, up near Sparta.
No, my sister's up there. That's God's country. That's up in the
I
woods.
love it up there. I was going to
Yeah.
move to Sparta.
Nice.
It's a
up there.
beautiful town. Gorgeous.
Okay, so
I
wait,
love
you
it.
got people in New Jersey. Where are you right now? First of all, are you in Florida?
I'm in Florida. I'm in Central Florida. I'm in Highlands County, Avon Park.
Okay.
You know,
I'm from Florida, so I'm from Florida.
Nice.
I met him in Florida, and I was born in Miami, and I was raised in West Palm Beach. I grew up in Jacksonville.
Oh,
I went
nice.
to high school in Jacksonville, college in Gainesville, and then I lived in Boca and Pompano and all South Florida.
And I was given the silver spoon when I was born. I was born in Brooklyn in the projects.
All right. There you go.
And then what about you? Come out to California often?
Not recently, not since the pandemic. I mean, I had so much booked right until the pandemic, where I was out there with 3 different projects, and then everything came to a grinding halt. But I was
Yeah, now the halt is back again. Now with the strike.
With the strike.
It's crazy, but I was working. I did a lot down here. I did a whole season of a series, Daddy, We're Back. I did 6 different mask commercials, believe it or not. And
wait, what kind of commercials?
Mask, COVID.
Mask commercials, COVID commercials. Gotcha.
Yeah.
I was like, what is? I know. I saw you do a lot of commercials, actually.
But what good is it? You couldn't see your face.
Well, you got the before.
It doesn't matter. Actually, because you got a nice smile.
See, now I could tell people that was me, not you. Look, that wasn't him. That was me behind that mask.
As long as the residuals come my way, Ron.
Actually, though,
yeah, I love the Jersey accent. I love it. You still got it, baby. Never lose it. It works in film. Better than sounding like that here.
Actually, too, I noticed
orange, and bow, and dog.
Water.
Dog, orange,
water,
dog, and bow.
I noticed that you have a new. I don't know if it's a movie. It's in pre-production. It's called The Italians. But I'm friends with Bailey.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I actually met her through Georgia Film Fund or something. Okay. I'm not exactly one of those.
What's
things.
this
She's
film
gorgeous.
about? Now you're touching my area.
The Italians.
Watch it.
Zach Dieppe, the writer producer, his father. The way the story goes, his father was an ambassador. I forget, somewhere in Europe. Okay, so Zach has enough content for 7 different seasons. Long story short, I've got a lead role. I'm playing the. I want to get this right. The assistant director of New York City Homeland Security. I am the most corrupt politician that's ever served New York.
You're like a real politician.
Yeah, I would agree. I would agree. Now, Bailey is she's one of the producers. She's also my boss.
She's gorgeous.
Yeah, and it's such a great script. Zach has so we're going to be shooting, of course, New York. He goes Paris, Dubai, and Berlin. So it's been in the works for a few years now. I had a conversation with him, I guess, about a month ago. He's lining everything up. But once it hits, and you just run hard. So I'm really excited for that. I'm excited for him.
In the chat room, when we were talking about Charlize Theron, you wrote, "I worked with Charlize twice." What did you work with her on?
You worked with Charlize?
I did, Ron. I did.
Ooh.
I was.
Did you get to kiss her?
What? Let me. In Devil's
Advocate.
I
can't wait. Tell me.
My first everything was Devil's Advocate.
Oh, okay. Great movie.
My first feature. I'm a SAG extra. My first everything. I got picked out of the crowd. I worked with Mr. Pacino for my first time. Keanu, Craig T. Nelson.
The guy who wrote that lives down the street from us.
Right.
Really?
Nita.
Yes.
I got
actually, Nita's his daughter. That's her name. No, his name is Nita.
He writes under a different name. He's the guy who wrote it, though.
Oh, okay.
He lives down the street.
Amazing.
So did you get to talk to them?
So not in Devil's Advocate. I got a story regarding Devil's Advocate. I worked with her on that, and then I worked with her in Woody Allen's Celebrity. And I was dancing with her. I was in a dance club seeing some such a clubby guy, right? And it's me, it's Dennis Mallen, Kenneth Branagh, Charlize Theron. We're all dancing. We're all bopping around downtown New York in the Village. And what a sweetheart. I'm 6'1".
I'm in love with her, you know.
She's like one of my all-time favorites, and I always liked her and everything. But then when she joined the Fast and Furious, because that's one of my favorite franchises, when she joined that, I love it, and I have a.
She's one of my most favorite beauties. I compare her to Grace Kelly, who I was crazy about also.
There you go.
I love those blonde, blue-eyed, Nordics. I'm Italian. That's why I'm dark. I like light.
My fiance, Ron.
Is she as beautiful in person as on film?
Yeah.
I figured that.
So I got to tell you about Leanne, my fiance. I think she did her 23andMe. She traces her lineage back to Ratnar Lothbrok. I am marrying a Viking queen.
He doesn't know who that is, but I know who that is.
Oh, okay.
I'm shocked. A lot of people don't know who that is.
No, it's Vikings. Well, he's a famous Viking.
I know who the Vikings are.
Well, that's a really famous Viking. I actually think that I even have a Funko Pop of that Viking, and I think it's worth a lot of money.
Nice. Okay.
Which I love the whole thing.
Do you miss New Jersey?
At times, I miss. Now I'm up there quite a bit. I've been going back and forth, shooting up there, coming back here. I love where I am in Florida because I get to hide. I'm in Central Florida. I'm in Highlands County. I'm landlocked, which is fine because everything's an hour away, and I do a lot of work down here. But New York's 2 hours away, 2.5 hour flight.
I miss New York terribly.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait to go back. We're moving back next year.
Nice. Whereabouts? Where are you guys going?
California's not for me, that's for sure. Too many phonies. Too much bullshit out here.
Yeah,
I'm used to saying you're my buddy and trusting the person I say that to. Out here, you say you're my buddy, and they look at you like you're weird. Not the same. New York and New Jersey, we are just like no one else in this country.
So we're blatantly honest.
So
but we have a bond. We have a camaraderie, a bond.
Yeah.
So how do people find you for all your commercial? Because you're in a lot of. I was looking. You're Tommy John Underwear, the Florida Lottery, Monday Night Football, food catering. I don't even know what a New More attire is, but you have a lot of commercials. You do a lot of commercials. How do you have an agent that books those, or how do people find you for that?
So Florida is an interesting thing. You guys were talking SAG in the last segment. Florida, there isn't a lot of SAG work per se. There is a lot of work. There's a lot of stuff going on. But it's a matter of building your network. I'm in the business 28 years. I've got a solid network. I've got people in New York, LA, down here. And you guys know, if you do good work, if you're respectable, you're prepared, you show up early, because if you're on time, you're late, word gets out. So
he's right.
Yes. Right or wrong. So I work with a lot of the same people. And when they're looking for someone, I've got this one great agent. I've got a bunch of great agents, and I hate to throw names out there. I'm really the go-to guy for a bunch of people. I did this one. I did a Super Bowl commercial with Serena Williams for Remy Martin. I get a call from my agent in Miami. She calls me on a Thursday. She goes, Dennis, you're a chef, right? You have on a chef. Now, I went to culinary school 30 plus years ago, lifetime ago. I'm like, yeah, I can cook. She goes, don't lie to me. Can you cook? Yes, I can cook. Good. Tomorrow morning, 5 a.m., you're doing a Remy Martin commercial. It's paying scale plus. La 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 la. All right. I don't, something falls in your lap. I'm your guy. You need me on a flight. You need me in a car. Where do you need me? I'm there. And 5 a.m. call time. I show up at 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
And I worked with Serena Williams, and it was big in the Super Bowl. And it's a matter of building your network. You guys know that, because there's great people to work with, and there's people you don't want to ever see again.
Right.
Yeah, we have a lot of both, actually.
Jimmy tells me I should do commercials. I said yes. Viagra, funerals, coffins, cemeteries. I could do all those commercials, right? What the hell am I going to do?
You have another TV series called Champion with Alex Baca, and she's in a movie I'm doing called My Porn Star Wife. They added her to the cast list that we're working on now, and she's gorgeous. And
she was one of the extras. She was one of the extras with us.
Okay.
I was like a coach. If you look at Rocky, you look at Mickey from Rocky. I was a real scummy Mickey. Okay. and I train a lot. So I called the producers a few months prior. I go, look, I want to gain some weight. What do you think? You're in great shape. What do you mean? I go, I got to look a little bloated. I got to look a little obnoxious. I feel I'm a New Yorker. I want to channel that character. So I show up on set 10 pounds heavier. I wear a Jeff cap, and I got a guinea tee on, or an undershirt, or whatever you want to call it, right?
He calls it guinea tee too.
Of course, we're going to have a lot of people screaming tomorrow, but that's okay. Well, I call it. I'm Italian. I'm allowed, so I call it a guinea.
Are you
t-shirt.
Italian? What are you?
I am. I'm Italian, Irish, Brazilian.
Okay.
So you're allowed to say guinea t-shirt.
Thank you, Ron. And I show up. I've worked with Lexi before, different things, and it was such an iconic scene because Natalia Glass, one of the leads, she got this opportunity to go to this other school. One girl that was fighting for me had to break her arm. I pushed her to the side, had somebody else come in. It was a fun shoot. It just premiered out in LA, I guess about a month ago now. So yeah, it's going to be an exciting series. I can't wait to do more. So
I think it's just fun. Like you do more shorts than probably anybody I've ever seen. When I went down your IMDb, you have like 100 shorts, and then you got some big movies.
Tell our audience what shorts are, honey. They don't.
Oh, so a short is a short film, you guys. It's maybe I don't know how long the shorts are.
No, they could have thought it meant underwear. Shorts are men's underwear.
Guinea tees, shorts. I mean,
so you have to be more specific.
But yeah, so do you do the shorts for? Well, I mean, I guess sometimes because shorts win an Academy Award nowadays. So if shorts can win an Academy Award, it's great to keep your acting chops honed. For working with everything.
Dennis, the truth.
Sir,
I'm ready to shoot myself. If I don't get to work soon, I don't know what to do with myself. I'm in the business 64 years. I've worked all my life. All right.
Jeez.
Now I'm the COVID killed me. Now this strike. What do you do when you're not working?
So here's the thing. And Jimmy, Rebecca Mahan, love her dearly. We put together a 3-pronged approach. Okay. And I'm giving away all the secrets on Jimmy Star Show because it's the biggest show I've been on.
Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell.
Yeah, with Ron Russell.
Fucking shit out of you when I see you.
I was gonna. You cut me off. I was gonna go.
No, you were rolling on. You were rolling. No. Don't jive me, baby. I'm from Brooklyn. You were rolling on.
It's the Ron Russell with Jimmy Star show because Ron's
it's just the Ron Russell show and fuck Jimmy Star.
It's like going to the gym, guys. Right? You got to keep sharp. You got to keep your brain sharp, your body sharp. Doing shorts, I win awards. B, I work with new directors because you never know who's next, right? You never know who's going to shoot out like a cannon.
On TikTok or something.
The shorts are all over. I've won cons with shorts. I've won LA festivals with shorts, and it really gets my big nose out there because people recognize you. I did one short, Unlawful Duties. It's on Amazon Prime. I think we got like 1 million views. And I look at it, there's got to be one person of influence. Here I got 2 gentlemen of influence that have seen the movie. So now we're making that into a feature, and who's got the lead role? Me. So if you look at what I've got coming up, I got 3 scripts in front of me to do over the next month and a half. Mind you, I've got features coming up too, but I got to keep my instrument sharp. So working through the strikes, I got to do what I got to do. So I coach new actors. I teach them the business of the business, because it's show business, not show friends. I market.
That was good. I like that. Show business, not show friends. I like that.
Thank you. You can use that whenever you want.
Yes.
You guys, love you guys. Please, Phil.
What you guys, if you want to see him, so his TikTok, like half of his TikTok videos are him like working out and showing you how cute he is. So you can go on TikTok and follow him. He does TikToks like at 4:00 in the morning. It says I'm driving to set. All different kinds of things. But it is fun. It's entertaining, and his TikTok and his Instagram are It's Dennis Mallen. So you can go to all.
We
of
were
those.
supposed to go to work next week in Nevada on a movie.
Okay.
So I play a very important movie star's father. It's a big role for me, and I'm excited about it. I cry in it, which is something I want to do. Nice. So I memorized all my lines, which took forever at 83. And guess what?
Now we're not doing it.
I forgot them.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
Because if I don't do them the day before or 3 days or week before, sure. How are you with lines?
I'm good. I'm good with lines.
And I got to remember lines.
So I got a method to it. Like good. Even with the shorts that I'm doing, I'll read the script cradle to grave a dozen times. Because a lot of people just read their part and they don't know how what you do impacts.
You got to read the whole.
Read it cradle to grave 12 times. Then I focus on my part. The best thing is getting the daily call list. Because you know what scene's doing. You know what scene you need to focus on. So though I might have everything crammed in, okay, I focus on that scene. So as you just said, you forgot everything before you went on. That's okay. It's up here, Ron. But tomorrow you're doing scene 5, pages 10 through 12, whatever it might be. Focus on that. Okay. You already have it up here. Now you're focused on the task at hand. And that's how I do it. That's how I do it. And that's how
I do that with the sides.
Yeah.
You know, when I'm working, I read the sides and then I quickly go on the set and do it.
Yeah.
But from here to the camera, I can sometimes forget them. Betty Davis, who I knew, by the way, I'm name dropping, and screw you if you don't like it.
I love it.
But no, not you. I meant the audience. But Betty Davis said to me, I would talk to her about film always. She loved talking about her business.
Mm-hmm.
She said, Ron, I knew everybody's lines in the whole movie.
Yeah.
She said, so I watched and I knew who was going where and what. She said, you have to do that as an actor. Yes. She said, you can't be a contained actor. No. She said, you have to be the ensemble, part of the group, and learn everybody's lines. And I thought to myself, well, I was 50 at the time, and at 50, I could do it. Mm-hmm. But now if I had to remember everybody's lines, I'd be fired.
I bet getting to know you, Ron, and how you are, I bet you know a lot more and you retain a lot more than what you're giving yourself credit for.
Well, I rewrite the lines.
Let's see.
Sometimes the director likes it because you know what? I play always a Brooklyn tough guy. I hate that. Yeah, I'm going to tell you something what I'm talking about. And they once gave me a line to say in the movie. I don't remember it, but I'm going to give you a for instance. It was like, kill him. Oh, shucks, darn heck, don't kill him. I mean, what mafia tough Brooklyn talks that way? And I said to the director, what the fuck are you doing here? I'm from Brooklyn. I know people in the business that are wise guys. I know how they talk. He said, well, how would you do it? And I said, this is how I would do it. He said, give me more of that. Give me more of that. So I did. Because they don't know. They're not from Brooklyn. They're not Italian. They don't know wise guys. I do.
How many A-listers either use cue cards or just make up the scene on their own?
Tons of them.
I hear a lot of that.
Tons.
So that's my question to you. So do you ever rewrite because you're not comfortable with the line?
So when I do my character development, I believe in doing a ton of character development.
See, that's what I do.
I do the Vulcan mind meld with the writer and producer. Okay, Jimmy, Ron, this is what I'm thinking about the character. And I go on and on and on with my page of notes. And literally they're like, wow, that's amazing. Well, have you thought of this? I'm usually about 90-95% on. Okay. And just a little tweak here, a little tweak there. It's important because I can emote, just like you were saying. And I like playing raw characters. So if it's going and something hits me and I got to cry, I get emotional, boom, I can do it. But if I haven't done that work, I'm not able to get there. If that makes any sense whatsoever.
No, it does. It makes a lot of sense.
Good advice.
Actually. You know, when I did Macmillan and Wife TV,
nice.
I hate television because television is it's not movies. I don't know what the hell it is, but everything has to be line perfect. Yeah. You cannot put an it where it doesn't belong. Mm-hmm. And they're very fanatical about that. And that's why I think a lot of television sounds corny.
Sure.
Because the one thing I did like about Hitchcock was Hitchcock told his actors, act. That's what you get paid for.
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't want to direct them and tell them how to act. Either you are an actor or you're not an actor.
Sure.
He put you on the spot. And I believe in that. I believe actors have to have a certain degree of freedom to move around and play. Because, listen, director, don't you want a good movie? Don't you want people to think that you directed me well when you don't know what you're doing? But anyway, so let me have my freedom to give you what I have. Sure. Do you believe in that?
So I do. I come from the school of Tom Hanks. And Tom Hanks says, you know, if you show up on time, you're late, right? Always show up early. Right. Be off book because nobody else is off book and bring 10 different ideas. Because a lot of directors, and please correct me if I'm wrong, they're very technical.
Yeah.
Okay?
Not artistic, technical.
They're not creative. They're not artistic.
Right.
So what I kind of find, I find it ironic, and you know, kind of I guess to the credit that we work and whatnot, I'll give 3 takes, and I'm warming up, and I'm like, and they're like, all right, circle that, moving on. I'm like, well, can I give you one more? Nope, got what I need. I feel like I got one more, and I want to try this and this and this. What do you think? No, we're good. Okay, so I'm glad you got what you need. I appreciate that. I feel good, right? But I'm creative. I'm artistic. I got one more, and I want to try something different. Now, moving on.
I hate that. Don't even talk to me.
Yeah, he doesn't
about
like that either.
I go crazy. I want to hit them and throw things at them. And
So wait, I want to like
choke them with the cables.
I want to like
So
so.
listen, I'm in a film which we're shooting now. It's not a SAG, so we're going to shoot it. It's a very dear friend of mine's movie, and I'm doing a cameo.
No,
for
it is SAG.
How can we do it?
We can't do it till
we're not doing Red River.
No, we can't do it until the strike is over.
I
It's
thought
$4 million budget. It's a SAG film.
Oh, I didn't know
it's not a little film. It's
Anyway,
a big film.
Jennifer James, the fabulous director, is my buddy, and I'm doing this cameo for her. And all I do is answer a phone and talk about how the government broke into my laboratory and took all the papers and documents.
Ouch.
And I said to her, you know what? I can't do this. It's so fucking boring. I said, can I do this while I speak? Well, yes, you know, the government came in and they took all of the things that I had.
You know that nobody that's not watching understands that. So
Okay, what I just did was I just picked my nose, rolled it, and threw it.
Yeah.
How many people do that on the phone? So she said, oh, no, we can't do that. I said, Jen, let's give it a shot. She said, okay, Ron, I'll tell you what, we'll shoot it 3 ways. My way, your way, and then the both of us way. I said, okay, if I don't pick my nose, then I have to do something. I have to have my hand in my face.
Yeah.
Because back in my day, in the 50s, the first thing they taught you were hands tell a story.
They do.
Use your hands whenever you can in a scene to make it happen.
Yep.
So whenever you see, even on this show, I do this a lot. I always put my hands in my face because it's an attention grabber.
Got it.
Okay.
Now, would you do this? Would you pick your nose in a movie?
So I have.
I'm happy. I'm glad you did.
I was in a comedic and I know we were talking earlier. You were talking earlier. Comedy is tough, and I've got a story. I hope we get there. And I was literally playing this off the wall doctor. And if you give me enough room, I'll give you whatever you need. So I'm going into it, and I'm like, yeah.
I love it.
Yeah,
oh, no, not eating it. Not eating it. That's gross. Eating it. I threw mine on.
You didn't get it.
I saw it. You
Okay.
switched fingers.
Right.
So sorry. So I did it, and the director's like, wait, what? That was brilliant. Can you do it again? I'm like, yeah, okay. So then you take it to the next level, and you just keep, if you give us enough room, okay? That's why I love the Mel Brooks. You cannot tell me all of his movies were scripted. Maybe there was a premise, maybe there was an outline, but oh my gosh, that brilliance alone. Okay. When we did Great People. I hope you saw Great People. I had a lead role.
Mel Brooks.
Yes, sir.
My very good friend Gypsy the drag queen. You ever know Gypsy? Gypsy the drag queen? He was into Have Not with Mel. It was a Mel Brooks film with his wife Anne Bancroft. If you remember the film about the Nazis that played it. Anyway, he said that it was a wonderful set because he was not an actor, but he was given the freedom to be a silly, frightened, gay guy.
Uh-huh.
And Mel Brooks, he said, was wonderful. So I agree with you. Mel let everybody. Hitchcock also let everybody go.
Sure.
Good director. That's why.
Wait, I want to brag real quick because we've got 5 minutes and I have a couple questions.
Yes, sir.
First of all, some other stuff you guys can see Dennis in. He was in Killing Reagan, which with the guy from SWAT. I love the guy from SWAT. Is also in that. Jumanji: The Next Level, The Irishman, The Devil's Advocate, and are you an MMA fighter? Do you know how to fight?
So I have a first degree in Taekwondo. So
okay, because I
can take care of myself.
You did a movie called MMA with, I don't know who Conan Lee is, but Mary Wilson's been on our show before she died. She was on our show. And Eric Roberts has been on the show.
Yep.
And
Eric's a good guy.
I'm working with with Mr. Roberts in 2 movies coming up. So
yeah, that's
now,
cool.
He's tall, right? He's like 6'5", 6'6".
No, he's not tall.
He's not that tall.
He's short.
No, he's not short.
Littler than me. I'm 6 foot.
No, I think he's.
I'm 6'1".
I think he's about 5'11".
Oh,
no,
so
he came up to here.
And I have to look at pictures because we took a bunch of pictures with him.
You know what it is? He sort of hunches. He doesn't stand like this.
Got it.
He kind of roll like he doesn't have the best posture.
But my favorite.
But he's a great guy. I love him, and I don't call him Mr. I call him Eric.
Oh, he'll call him Eric. Do you ever see Best of the Best? That's like one of my favorite movies.
Oh my gosh.
That he's in. That's like one of my. I love those MMA fighting movies, like Warrior. We were talking earlier about with our other guest because I love Tom Hardy.
I have the best picture of Eric and I on the red carpet of a movie, and he's got his hand over my mouth. And the caption is, oh boy, does he really say it. Because I was talking about Eric in the film, and he didn't want me to say what I said. He went like that. And it's a Getty picture, so it's a wonderful picture of the two of us.
That's awesome.
So also, you guys follow Dennis on TikTok and Instagram. It's Dennis Mallen. We have 2.5 minutes.
What do you want to say?
What do you want to tell us?
Well, I want to answer the questions that you guys asked the other guy to close it out. Come on.
Oh, okay. There we go. That's my favorite question, too. All right. Male and female star that you would love to be on your bucket list, and any movie that you could have ever been in, what movie would you have been in?
Godfather 1, 2, and 3. I've worked with Mr. Pacino 3 times. I'd love to have a one-on-one scene with him. We're both getting older, God willing.
We had Gianni Russo on our show a couple of weeks ago, and he was like one of the guys in The Godfather.
Oh,
he's great.
Johnny's a character.
He's a character. All right, male and female. Movies, male and female.
Jennifer Lawrence.
Yes,
Sandra Bullock.
Jennifer Lawrence and Sandra Bullock are awesome.
Two of my favorites.
Anything that Denis Villeneuve directs. I love Dune 2 coming out. Any of the stuff coming up. I'm a Frank Herbert fan.
Was Dune good? We didn't see it. Was it good? Did
Dune
you like
1?
it? Yeah, we didn't see it.
Yeah, it was. I've read all the books, and I like the Kyle MacLachlan version, '87, but I'm a big fan, so it just quick story. I finished the Mad Hatter, and my DP, Helena Hutchins, rest in peace, was killed that night that Dune 1 came out. So I'm rushing from set to see Dune 1. I get a text message. Did you hear what happened to Helena?
That's terrible.
Yeah. So, but Gladiator, any Star Wars movie. I did a different podcast.
Gladiator. The guy who plays is a friend. I'm really good friends with his wife. The guy who's the big Gladiator, the older guy in there. I forgot his name now. Isn't that funny? Who fights Russell Crowe? The really big guy. He's a friend of ours.
I was supposed to play that part. They saw my physique, my enormous muscles. Look. See?
I see it, Ron.
Yeah.
And they wanted me to be the gladiator that beats everybody up. I wouldn't play that part. Too violent.
So you guys, this is Dennis Mallen. Yeah, you guys follow Dennis on Instagram and TikTok. It's Dennis Mallen. Check out his film, Gray People. Is your TV series Daddy We're Back? Is it out yet or no?
It's out. Yes, sir. It's on. It's on YouTube. I think it's on a few other networks too.
So look up Daddy We're Back. He plays the dad. There's 8 episodes. And when the Italians come out, that'll be a fun one. So check out all this stuff.
That. I'm going to let you know what I think of that one.
When that one comes out. That. So this is Dennis, you guys. We want to thank you for coming on the show. Congratulations on doing everything.
Thanks for having me.
And we'll see you soon. And I'll see you on TikTok and Instagram and Facebook.
Gentlemen, love you. Thank you. Appreciate you.
Thank you, Jersey. Thank you, Jersey.
All right, everybody. Thanks so much for tuning in. We'll see you guys next week. Chat room, thanks so much for being in there, everybody. And Julia, we're happy to see you back. Hope all is well. And we'll see you guys next week. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody. Have a good one.
Sunlight can turn out to be so wrong. Yeah, we in the mix. Yeah, we in the mix. It's another episode. Here we go. The Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell. Interviewing the hottest, newest, and truest of today's celebrities. Make sure to subscribe so you can get notified weekly. Jimmy Star, he's the king of cool. Ron Russell, he's a gorgeous dude. Chat room is live and you would be a fool not to vibe with us at the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell. Come watch it live on W4CY Radio. Miss some past episodes, download on iTunes. The Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell. It's the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell.